one, it helped me to understand my cycle more. I had been tracking it. I've always been like a type A, go, 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 like striving for excellence type of person. And I think you have to have an element of that to be an entrepreneur. I've always felt that burnout. So hearing you talk about a way to connect deeper with my body through cycle syncing was like a no-brainer.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the Pelvic Pulse podcast. I'm so excited to introduce you to another vaginal alchemist. Miss Emily LeDuc is a marketing strategist, community facilitator, and herbalist who helps women entrepreneurs like myself create clear relationship based systems that attract and nurture clients. With a background in corporate marketing, Emily brings a sharp understanding of what drives real results. She helps women design marketing ecosystems where messaging, email, and client experience work together while also connecting them to other entrepreneurs so they feel supported, seen, and grow. Her clients receive tangible tools like messaging frameworks, mapped customer journeys, and insightful practices they can immediately implement. As an herbalist, Emily brings a whole human approach to business, including capacity, rhythm, and cycle awareness. Through her one on one Bloom Business Reset and Bloom membership, she combines strategy, structure, and community to help women shape businesses that feel as good as they perform. Yummy. That sounds great, Emily. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. I'm so excited to be here. It's fun to like hear someone else tell talk about who I am versus
Yeah.
just me all the time.
No, I isn't it so nice when you don't have to kind of like pitch yourself and someone just sees you in your
Yes.
magic. And gosh, I'm just for some context for people again listening, you are a vaginal alchemist, an alum, and the way we met, maybe you want to share that story about how we even got here. Like, and we don't necessarily need to talk email marketing, but of course, that's so, I feel like entrepreneurship feels really alive for this season. Just women who are living so embodied and it's pouring out into their businesses, whether you're a mother or not. It's it's one of those full circle things. I feel like, yeah, body, babies, business, all the things are tying in.
Yeah.
But yeah, do you want to share a little bit about from your perspective how we met and what brought you into my world and just how it's all unfolded?
Oh my gosh. Yes. I'm so thankful that we met. Like it's been such a fun journey getting to know each other and supporting each other in different ways and to have like an entrepreneur friend and to build that entrepreneur community is so huge, I think, especially as women in business. But okay, so I'll tell you a little bit of the story of like leading up to before we met
Mm,
and then how we met. I think that's
yes.
important. I so I had been on hormonal birth control for since I had been in high school for so many different years. I mean, it was like from high school to I don't know, like since I went off in 2021, so a
Mm,
long time. And I had over the years tried different birth controls. I had like different issues with them, like my hormones were really off, having terrible night sweats, just weird things that were happening. And in 2021, I was like, okay, this is the time I'm going off. And it was a huge relief, yet at the same time, it was very scary because I didn't really know much about my body, which feels somewhat silly because we have so much knowledge, right, on the
mm-hmm.
internet. Like we can just look anything up, but it's almost like you don't know what to trust, or this says something here and it's slightly different over there. It really started my journey of turning inward and really understanding how my body worked. And I remember at the time I went to my doctor and just to like get some basic level education, and I knew high level how things worked, but I really did not understand kind of the details. And at the time, my doctor had said, well, we just consider you to be like waiting to be mother. And I just was
Really?
like, yes, I walked away so angry, just like, oh my gosh, because I was asking for way, like trying to understand my cycle, but also how can I prevent pregnancy naturally? Because of
Mhm.
course I had this fear of if I have sex, I'm going to get pregnant.
Right. Thank you, Catholicism.
Oh, yes. And and fun fact, I come from a very strong Catholic family. So nothing against Catholicism, but
Right,
I
right.
think there's some things that stem from that childhood. But so went off of birth control in 2021. At that same time, I went and decided to become a full-time entrepreneur. So I think although they're not totally related, there's definitely things that are tied between the two. And I would say, oh gosh. So then I mean, I just started all of my own education, started reaching out to people that I trusted to get some, learn from them. But what I found out was that there, like, I was not alone. There are
Mm.
so many women that do not fully understand their cycle, are feeling disconnected from their bodies. And, growing up, I was very much like very secretive about my body. I mean, the first time I used a tampon was like, I did not talk to my mom about it. It was very secretive. And there was there was really this underlying shame associated with my body. And that never came from my mom, she never was directly shaming me by any means. And I love my mom, she's amazing. Um, but there was like I just felt this underlying shame internally. And so I like with all of this, over time, really feeling disconnected with my body, not connected with my emotions. I mean, I remember periods of time where I felt like I couldn't cry, like just
Mm.
just kind of like cold in a way. So as I started to learn more about my cycle and feeling more connected with myself, I feel like that helped to break through some of that shame a little bit, but I was just starting to get on the cusp of all of these things, right? And at the same time, I remember, there were like self-pleasure did not exist in my life. Like it just really wasn't there. And I didn't really even understand like, okay, how do I go about doing that? There was a lot of unknowns there. And I remember in around the 2021 timeframe thinking, well, I really wish that there was some sort of like workshop or something out there that would give me this guidance. And
Mm.
I didn't really find anything at the time. But anyway, then we kind of fast forward to what we met in 2025, it was.
Yeah. Isn't that
Yeah.
crazy?
Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy. So I met you at a workshop, but more based on entrepreneurship, I
Hmm.
believe. And you were speaking about cycle syncing. And oddly, I had never heard about cycle syncing until then. And
Mm.
but I also live in the Midwest, and sometimes I feel like things just take time to get
Yes.
here. So anyway, I really resonated with what you were saying because one, it helped me to understand my cycle more. I had been tracking it. I've always been like a type A, go, 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 like striving for excellence type of person. And I think you have to have an element of that to be an entrepreneur. I've always felt that burnout. So hearing you talk about a way to connect deeper with my body through cycle syncing was like a no-brainer to me. And then as I started to listen to your podcast and really dive into your resources, I was like, Brittany was the person that I was looking for back in 2021.
Oh my gosh.
To one, not only understand my cycle,
Yeah.
but for the self-pleasure part, right? I think those were like, and there's so many other things, but then I started to do the self-paced vaginal alchemy workshop that you had, and it's like it really helped. It gave me the tools to start to chip away more at that underlying shame that I had always been feeling.
Mm.
Um, but I think it was like to really have a deeper love for myself, like a deeper love and appreciation rather than just like forcing or going or ignoring so many different things. So, I mean, I'm happy to t talk more about the experience with vaginal alchemy, but that's kind of like the story of how we met.
Which, okay, I love every single little aspect that you shared. And what I'm like remembering and clicking back into is the fact that your journey looked so much like my journey.
Mm, yeah.
Like this actually feels very mirrored, where same thing as you, around the same time that I was coming off birth control, I was starting my own thing and realized I didn't know jack about my body. But then I was like, oh my gosh, this is so impactful. I want everyone to know. And so that was why it was like tied so deeply into my work at that time. And it is still such a big part of what I like to share. But now maybe with these different flavors of like entrepreneurship and or even self-pleasure. I don't think people think about what does self-pleasure look like on a cyclical basis, but that's what we cover inside vaginal alchemy, but also just the the undertone or subliminal messaging, maybe if, even if it wasn't super direct at all,
Mhm.
just the underlying shame that we both have had to come to terms with, unlock, alchemize, that feels very um yeah, very similar. And yeah, a lot of things were secret. Like I mean, I told my mom that I was going to use a tampon, but she couldn't teach me. And so I was like, ugh, like I have to figure this out by myself. Like, I don't know anything. This is scary.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. And
But
you're like, is this normal? You don't know at all.
yeah, but
Yeah.
I loved how you just tied it all together with um really what it came down to was finding more self-acceptance and self-love. And I feel like that's actually a thread that came through the other podcast episode I recorded. That seems to just be the underlying thing that I want to feel for myself and I want other women to feel for themselves.
Hmm.
And cycle syncing was just one of those, like it's a hard thing, but it's a softer doorway for some to walk through and then to embody than maybe pleasure and then applying that to your relationship. And it just, that feels a little bit bigger maybe. But underneath it all is that experience of like, oh, like I love my body. I love my life. Like I love whatever it is, you know?
Hmm.
I've
Yeah, definitely. I think like as women too, I mean it's or just the culture that we live in. It's still, I mean, we're growing, right? Things are changing. I feel like there's some big movement and things are moving in the right direction, but I definitely think there's still this like culture around ignoring your body and pushing through and all of that. So,
100.
um, I I think people are waking up, but there's still room
Yeah.
for growth there.
Yeah, I think when I zoom out, I can see where like boss babe era was very like get it done, work hard, hustle, hustle, hustle. Like we're just as blah 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 as men, fill in the blank, whatever you want to say. And then all of a sudden, maybe a year ago, everyone's like, soft girl era. Like, I want to be a fairy in the forest and living on the moss and whatever. And people are like, wait, actually, I don't really want that either. It just feels like blah, you know?
Yeah.
Like where is any of the growth or momentum? Like it's just not as balanced either. So I feel like right now, I think you're exactly right. Like we're still unlearning a lot of the grind in entrepreneurship, in our relationships, in how we treat our bodies.
Mhm.
And we're also maybe getting unstuck, like pluck us off the moss. Get us going
Yep.
again. So we're finding our middle ground. But yeah, for even for this, like I'll just share some more backstory for the listener. I love that you asked to schedule this around your ovulation. I was like, hell yeah, that's what I want for you. Um, why? You'll have to come check out Vaginal Alchemy, maybe.
We'll tell you why there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But will you, I'm so curious, like, was there a specific learning or experience within the program that really did something for you? Like, was there any kind of like little aha or major aha or lesson that you found maybe the most valuable?
Yeah, I think a lot of it was like the guided mapping sessions were so helpful because, again, it was like I didn't even know where to start. And frankly, it like I think when we think about self-pleasure, it's just like really get straight to the point and it's kind of like aggressive nature in a way,
Mhm.
whereas it can look so different based on what you even show in the mapping sessions. So I feel like that was huge. And so I was in the self-paced version, but you had a couple calls where we would meet and connect with each other, and I loved that. So I think, it's great to have something that you can access on your own, but there like community is everything. And I think when you can hear other people's stories, other people's experiences, how they're approaching something, it unlocks so much more for you.
Mm-hmm.
And I think helps you if you feel like you have underlying shame, it can help you like work through that so much faster. So
Yeah.
I'm super excited for this next round where I will get to do it live because I can only imagine what it will unlock for me. And I think also, I mean, you didn't ask this, but what I have seen is just the connection of your body and your business, if you are an entrepreneur, is so connected. And I think I'm seeing that a lot on social media, but more on like a negative lens of like, oh, your shadow that you might have is going to come up in your business, or if you're triggered, it's like all kind of the negative
Mm.
things, which I think are important to look at. But I've found that, when you can deeper your connection to self through some of the tools in vaginal alchemy, it can help support that business growth as well.
I'm curious if you have an example of that for yourself because I think that's really you have such keen awareness about what we're seeing out in the, you know, Instagrammy spaces where I think you're right. People are always talking about doing that in like deeper, heavier work, maybe, but it can be a key to experiencing any kind of success in your business. But yeah, I think you're absolutely right. Like you're spot on. The connection of your capacity, maybe in pleasure, is that mirrored in your capacity to receive in your business? Is that what
Mhm.
it? I want you to speak more on that if you've experienced that.
Yeah, yeah. I think first is the cycle syncing part of like matching that with your business so that you're not like go, go, go all the time, but then you're leaning more into your strengths at different phases of your cycle so that,
Mm.
maybe if you're brainstorming something, you're doing that at a time that makes sense for you so that you're more productive. But I think in the work with vaginal alchemy, you then start to tap more into your creativity. So it's like all of a sudden, I might have this deeper connection with my intuition. Ideas are popping up. So it's when you connect deeper with your body, work through some of that maybe thing underlying. I'm referring to shame because that was what really came up for me a lot, but working through that and loving myself, then I have the confidence more in my business, how I'm
Mm.
showing up as a business owner, but then unlocking that creativity. And then I think there was one other thing that I wanted to say on it too. I think, working through some of it, the limiting beliefs, they do come up.
Mhm.
Yes, that is, can be more of the negative outlook on things, but they exist for everyone, right? We
Mhm.
all have different things. And if we don't do that inner work, it can show up in our business. So, for example, you know, I came from a family of entrepreneurs and my parents weren't entrepreneurs, but like a lot of my grandpa, extended family members, and to be quite honest, I didn't see like this booming success. And so that, that was something that I've been working through over the last few years is like, okay, this underlying feeling of I can do all this work, but I'm never really going to be successful.
Mm.
So it's like just kind of chipping away at that and looking at other times that I have been successful. And okay, maybe they weren't successful, but that isn't my story. That's someone else's. So,
Mhm.
um, yeah, there's so many ways that your body and your business are connected.
Yeah, absolutely. I was gonna say, even like it's a projection, right? Like maybe taking that visual of the examples that you had and like were you projecting it onto yourself? But also, I see lineage coming up all the time, especially I mentioned it in another podcast episode too, and module 3, which was all about de-armoring and becoming devoted to your body. But sometimes with the de-armoring, like literally when you say chipping away, I almost think like, oh, we're accessing and maybe massaging it.
Mm,
I don't like the word, I don't want to use the word manipulation at this point, but like there is a, we're touching it and we're working it.
mm,
And if it feels like a shedding or a releasing or a taking off of the armor, a chipping away, like that is a felt sense in the body and maybe even emotionally, mentally feels lighter.
mhm,
Um, and I was gonna say too, like the limiting beliefs piece. I just had this thought. I wonder if you have any thoughts on it because we talk manifestation together too as well, like TBM work and all that good stuff. And even combining the vaginal alchemy, like wand work, hands-on work with any of the DIs, like I think that's such a cool exploration and combo. Um, but fearing maybe even a quantum leap. Like, you know how some people are just, it seems like overnight they completely explode
mhm,
and they handle it all differently. Like, it's just funny to watch. It's fun to watch. Um, but like for someone who may feel like, okay, I'm doing the work, I'm putting the work in, and I'm getting results here, results here, results here, and then maybe that's just what feels good. And so there's a limiting belief of like, well, I don't blow up and maybe I actually don't want that. Do I want a quantum leap? Like everyone's talking about, oh my God, I want to make a quantum jump in my life and my business and, everything like happening all in one year, something like that.
mhm.
And I'm just like, do I want that? That came through in my shower today. I had so many
Yeah.
shower thoughts. I also had a shower thought on cycle syncing actually that I put in my stories on Instagram. And it was the line like cycle syncing is hard because it will force you to look at your self-abandonment patterns.
Mm, oh my gosh. Yes, a
Is
hundred
that how
percent.
you experienced it?
I never thought of it that way, but yes, and I think it can, I mean, I think it can go down even to the smallest level of, am I getting up from my desk to go to the bathroom? Like,
Right.
or am I holding that? Now, that's not necessarily cycle syncing, but I
Body
think
related.
once you do that, once you start to cycle sync, you start to pay attention to all of these other things of, yeah, am I listening or not? And to what you were saying of like, do I want this quantum leap? I was out to dinner with a a few girlfriends and they're asking me about my business. And it's fun because I think I'm the only entrepreneur out of all of my friends that I grew up with, which is weird. But I said to them, yeah, sometimes I wonder, do I like want a personal brand? You
Mm.
know, like,
Mm.
oh, but there's moments where I'm going, I'm like, yeah, this is it. Like, I'm just in the momentum of building my business, which is a personal brand. And then there's those other small parts where it's like, ooh, I don't know if I want to be seen. Do I want to be the face of it? And I think that relates to the quantum leap. Like,
Mhm.
ooh, do I really want all of these people to see me, to know me, for, what I'm showing, obviously. But yeah, I think that's something that comes up for me. And then I start to like ask the questions of why might I be afraid of the quantum leap? Like,
Mm.
or if I have this booming success. And I think there is a visibility part for me, but I think also it's like holding that success, right? Can I manage this? Can I scale this? Because I've created other businesses in my life. Like this is not just the first business. And some of the hardest part is the scaling and being able to hold that. So, and I don't think that's like a deal breaker, but you have to start to ask yourself, why might I not necessarily want this quantum leap?
Yeah. And I think when we layer those same concepts to, like, from the business side, say, to the body, like, even just what you said, do I, can I hold this success? Can I hold this level of abundance? Let's just call it. And it's the same thing with pleasure. It's the same thing. Like, because it's an energetic demand. I think that's what
Mhm.
freaks people out. If I were just going to name it, like, because it's going to force, or you could say invite you into another layer of yourself, or require you to become uh, a different version of yourself. Like, one that got you there is not going to get you over here, you know? And oh man, something came to me also while you were naming that so beautifully. It's about the question of you being a personal brand. Like, as someone
Mhm.
who is very aware, obviously, of how people actually have success in their businesses, like, it's through relationship. How do you have relationship person to person? Isn't every brand, especially by a solopreneur, a personal brand?
I mean, it is unless you have some sort of product that you're selling,
But
right? Like you're not the face.
well, okay, so I have this gal that I follow. She has commented on uh faceless brands.
Mm-hmm.
And you know how that was like a trend for a while? Like, people who are so shy and like the visibility was really scary for whatever reason,
Mm-hmm.
they started doing faceless content. And it's like, okay, I think the anonymity, is that how you say it, is fun for a while, but for the viewer, it's like, oh,
Mm-hmm.
you're breeding this kind of like curiosity, like, who's behind the mask? Like, who's Spider-Man?
Yeah.
And then eventually, though, because I don't know them, I can't connect like the voice to a face or to a body. I'm like, you kind of lost me.
Oh yeah. I mean, it's I have so many thoughts
I
on
bet.
this. I was once listening to, I think it was a podcast, but they were talking specifically about having like showing your face in a brand and not,
Mm,
and those that do grow significantly faster than those
right.
that don't. And so, I mean, I think take that. How long do you want it to take for your business to grow, right?
Mm,
But also, my take on marketing is it's really about building relationships. And it's really difficult to build a relationship when you can't ever see or like really hear from the person, like you just said. I mean, think about when you're texting versus talking on the phone versus seeing someone in person. Like that level, if you're only texting,
You're only going to
there's
get so far.
right, right. And so what I've really seen with the success of a business is the relationship that you're building with your subscribers, your clients, the relationship that you have with other entrepreneurs, and then the relationship that you have with yourself. And so all of those really need to be tended to for you to be successful and or see the success that you want. I mean, you can have success outside of those things, but it might just take longer and
Mm.
not look as maybe what you hope it to be.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Yeah, I completely agree. I think defining what success means or what makes you actually feel satisfied, if we want to go more human design terms, if that feels stickier to someone. Um,
Hmm.
and even if, say, you're listening and you don't have a business, but you have a family that you want to care for, or you have another just project that you want to do, how are we looking at that? How are we looking at feeling successful or um yeah, satisfied within our relationships with
Hmm.
ourselves and with these people in our lives, whether they are your partner, your baby, your grown child, or your client or something.
Yeah. Yeah.
Everything is so multi-layered here. It's kind of hard to pick a direction on like where to go because there are so many layers and like depths that I would want to know more about.
I know. Well, and I think again, it's like it's because they're so connected.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I mean, I've never seen myself as the traditional path or um, just interested in one thing. Like,
Mm,
I mean, I'm in the business world, but I'm also studying to be an herbalist and practicing herbalism. And,
yes.
there's, but I think so many of us, like, we're multifaceted and let's honor that.
I think that's what differentiates people,
Right.
you know? I think that's what makes us all so unique and special. And
Hmm.
when people can see that multifaceted facetedness, is that a word? I'm in follicular, you guys. I'm raising my floor for what I'm able to articulate. But yeah, when people see that, I think that it gives them something else to connect to. And that's where I think going
100%.
back to even like the visibility or even enriching the relationship that you're in with yourself and or with a partner, for example, what's required of you is to be seen.
Hmm.
Did it feel edgy for you with like your partner at all to like be in vaginal alchemy, or was he like, tell me more and oh I don't know. Like some
Yeah. Oh
yeah.
my gosh. I mean, it's definitely the patterns from childhood of like
Mm,
kind of keep like wanting to keep things to myself
mm,
or um, you know, it's easy to fall into that. But I think for me, because I knew you and I built a friendship with you, it was more like I'm taking my friend Brittany's course and
yeah.
leading into it in that way, but still having open discussion. So I think initially I felt like, oh, I'm not sure, like let me hide, but just like, okay, there's nothing to hide about and having those conversations. And I think going through vaginal alchemy, because it's helped me have a deeper love for myself, it's made it easier for me to have conversations with my partner. And I think that, historically being closed off, disconnected with emotions, and then working and addressing that, you know, communicating my feelings is still a challenging thing, but I think the more tools and practice that I bring into my life, like something like vaginal alchemy, has helped to have more of those open conversations with
Mhm.
everyone, including my partner. So
Mhm. I
it's
love that.
so crazy how the work in vaginal alchemy touches on so many different things beyond just like what you see surface level of what's happening in the program, you know?
Right, right. Yeah. And that's always been a hard thing for me to articulate, Uh, let me tell you the clear transformation that you're gonna get from this program. Like, that's why I think
Yeah,
it's so nice to have these conversations because then you're like putting, number one, a face to a voice to an experience,
right.
and you can actually connect to a real human, what this has done for them, and um, like see what's possible, but then also understanding some of the nuances to what this particular practice form, whatever framework really offers. If something in this conversation with Emily resonated, especially around shame, disconnection, not feeling full in your body, wanting to connect your pleasure, cycle syncing, and even maybe your business together, that's exactly the type of work that can be found inside Vaginal Alchemy. The self paced version is there for you to start today if you are someone who doesn't need accountability. You want to work this at a pace that works for you, it's there for you. Or you can join the waitlist for the next live round of Vaginal Alchemy. Details are all in the show notes. I invite you to explore that a bit more, feel it in your body, and step into the work when it's time. Because you're
Hmm.
right. Like it's so cool to watch it work you in the ways that it's worked you.
Hmm.
And I mean, oh my God, like everything is just so beautiful what you're putting out. Like the way I feel you differently. Obviously, a year ago,
Hmm.
I didn't know you as well, but I feel you differently. Like you are showing up. I see your beautiful face on stories and you're using your voice, which of course is connected to your sacral and your womb space and your cervix. And it's just you feel so grounded and potent. Like you feel in your flow and yet you're moving forward and I see you like bounding like it's not steps, it's leaps and bounds in what
Oh,
you're putting out there with your
thank
work,
you.
and it's obviously impacted me in my business, I think already. Just for anyone listening who might need some email strategy and even like just I hate to say the word just right there, but the connection with other female entrepreneurs who understand or speak the language of the body, who speak the
Hmm.
language of energetics, who speak the language of cycle syncing and applying that, actually embodying that. Like, I think that's a really powerful room to be a part of. Um, and just super sweet and nurturing. Um, yeah, I think I'm just so grateful to have
Oh,
you in my life right now.
same. I think it's so cool when like there's that alignment that brings people together,
Mhm.
right? And it feels good that you're seeing the big the I don't know what you just called it, but the leaps.
Yeah, the leaps and bounds.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, but I do think, you know, in 2024, I was still really doing a lot of work on my own and
Mhm.
trying to just do everything on my own. Like I would go to networking events, but I never really had a community around me.
Mm.
And I think it's so incredibly important, whether it's friendship, just simple friendship, or having entrepreneurs in the room that are, doing something similar of like a soul-led business, or being in vaginal alchemy with others that, are there for similar but maybe different reasons, and but we all have some common goals.
Mm.
It's just like that that is what helps you move forward and really unlock so much more.
I couldn't agree more because I've seen that also in my life. Like I've also done, for example, self-paced things. I've done one-on-one things, long term. But I think where I get the most, not even just like bang for my buck, but for the biggest transformation has always been being a part of a group, a
Hmm.
community with, like you said, different reasons for showing up, but similar goals that we're looking to do, whether that had to do, like, I'm still in Connor's group. I work out once a week with him and apply all of that through the rest of my week. And I show up to the Bloom community and I love connecting with those women in there. There's a whole level of just like love and connection and intimacy within that, and for sure vulnerability because you're getting some of your peers' eyes on your work, and it's great. Like,
Hmm.
I love it. I think I get such a dopamine kick from that. And yeah, even the other entrepreneur spaces that I'm a part of, and whether they're in person or online, just the friendships are I think where we make those big bounds.
Hmm.
You're totally right. Yeah, vaginal alchemy is the same. Like, I love that there's the one-on-one work that I offer is very different, but not so different. And
Hmm.
I just I think being in the room with women like that, it is recalibrating on a faster level than if you were just with one person, you know?
Hmm.
So
Yeah,
that's super
definitely.
cool to hear that even like when Emily took the self-paced version, she was so lucky and got joined in with a bunch of other women who were doing that at the same time. And I offered 3 calls essentially to like walk them through the process and be there and help them troubleshoot anything and just connect and make this experience feel a lot more transformative and richer. Who knows? Maybe something like that will change. I am now percolating on that feedback in lifetime, literally, as we say here.
Hmm. Yeah, I think sometimes it's like it's good to have hybrid stuff too,
Yeah.
just because of people's availabilities and things like that. But I don't know. There's something about just the actual group connection and group programs that they're huge. I love them. And I'm hearing that a lot in the business world too. It's everybody is talking about it,
Hmm.
where learning together is really going to help you reach your goals that much faster.
Yeah. Yeah. 100%.
Hmm.
Oh, I love it. Could you share with someone who maybe was in the spot you were in like 2021, reconnecting with your body by coming off birth control, or um, even when you were starting to do some of this work on your own and how you found it like maybe a little bit more challenging than when you started being more in these like group spaces? Like, what would you say to encourage that woman to take that step towards herself and walk a little deeper in if she's
Hmm.
feeling like, ooh, this is freaky for me. Like, I've never done anything like this before.
Yeah, yeah, it's scary at first. I mean, I'd probably first recommend that she reach out to you at this point because like, let's be real. Was spending so much of those, like, it's crazy. It had been years from when I met you
Mm,
to when I had gone off of birth control. And I feel like that would have helped me that much faster. And
mm,
knowing your background just is like, like I trust you. So that
yeah.
would probably be my first recommendation. But I think that what really helped me was getting the aura ring so
Mm,
that because I was trying to take my own temperature in the beginning, and that was just I don't know. I felt like I didn't trust myself to take it the right time or not drinking water, things like that. But having some sort of device that could help me start to track, I think that's the first and foremost of like just pay it like start to pay attention
mm,
to where your body is at within its cycle use a device that might help you, or maybe just take your temperature in the beginning. But I think it's really starting to slow down and listen. Um, and I think, you know, that the words of advice is that you can trust yourself. I mean, when I first started, I didn't trust myself, but I think if you don't at first, it will grow with time, but you do know your body, and we've been conditioned to fear, not trust our bodies, fear getting pregnant when you're not trying to get pregnant. And I think you know your body more than you realize, and you can trust it, is the biggest thing. And there's really nothing to fear. Um,
Mm.
that you can do it. It is possible to manage your cycle naturally. And yeah, those are probably the biggest things. But, if you really want help, go to Brittany.
Thanks. Thanks for that.
Yes.
No, I
Yeah.
love that. I love that message. And if anyone feels like, like, yeah, you just can't trust yourself yet, I think um, that's literally what the work is. Like, it's not even, I feel the need to reiterate this. Like, I am not, when I teach, trying to teach you exactly how I do things.
Mhm.
My guidance is always to help you titrate into more of that self trust. And I'm cueing you to listen to those messages that your body might be sending you
Mhm.
and letting you know what those cues might be. Because, yeah, we need to learn some of those too. I get that. I get that. But it's always about bringing you back to you and then feeling a little bit more of that self confidence in what it is that you're experiencing and what you're feeling, and knowing that you can't fuck it up. Like, you really can't
Mhm.
if you're
Yeah.
going at the pace of the slowest part of you, for example, you know?
Mhm. Mhm.
So, yeah.
100%.
Thank you, Emily, for sharing all of that and sharing your story and your experience within vaginal alchemy. If anyone, would you be open to people like reaching out to you about your experience and or about your work and what you're doing in the world? Is that okay?
Oh my gosh. Yes,
Okay.
please. I love connecting with people. So feel free
Amazing.
to reach out.
Where's the best place to do that?
So Substack would be a really great place. I have Bloom with Emily is my Substack, and there is a membership there that you had talked a little bit about for entrepreneur women. So you can reach me through Substack on Bloom with Emily, or on Instagram is another great way. So you can always just shoot me a DM there as well. And so that is Bloom_with Emily.
Perfect. Those will all be in the show notes, you guys. Thank you again, Emily, so much for being here. You guys go check her out, go hit her up. She's an incredible woman. Just get into her world and you'll bloom. Yay. We'll see you guys next time. Thanks for listening and for placing your finger on the pelvic pulse. I'm Brittany Ellers. The music for this podcast was created by Just Tech, and I'm grateful you're here breathing this conversation in with me. You're invited to stay connected by following the show on Apple, Spotify, YouTube, or wherever you listen, and by sharing it with someone you love. Beyond the podcast, there are 2 free spaces waiting for you: the Arousal Anatomy Adventure and my private podcast, The Pool of Presence, both designed to support you in coming back into your body and listening to what's real right now. You'll find everything linked in the show notes. Let your curiosity lead you and enter wherever you feel drawn. It's an honor to walk alongside you.